Hey guys, Mike here. So, oh boy, what a day, right? I mean, if it had to do anything to do with the NASDAQ, that is, stocks on the NASDAQ, because the Dow was green. S&P was only down 0.4%, right? But man, growth stocks, and especially, and my heart goes out to you if you're still holding Tesla stock, because I know every day you're thinking, it's got to bounce, right? It's got to bounce. And every day it just gets worse, right? And we've seen this. I mean, falling knife is what this is a definition of. It's what's been happening. I think it's down just in this month. Is it down 40-something%? I saw somebody post that. I didn't even do the math yet, but I think it feels right. It definitely feels right. And we're going to go into Tesla, what's happening, why it's falling like this. We're going to go into something else, which me and the members have been trying to figure out, because you got to understand where you're at to know where you're going. So I'm just going to ask you guys and see what you think and understand why we think the way we do. And then something else is a divergence that's happening, and it's happened about 8 times this year, and it's been disastrous for the markets when it does happen, when smart money might be trying to tell us something. Again, it's early, but we got to watch out for this. But I'm going to start off with this. I always try to teach my son certain sayings. As he gets older, he will learn more of these, because there are sayings that have stood the test of time for a reason, right? And one of them is, there's a sucker born every minute. Don't be that sucker. And I got to tell you, this popped up in my feed, and I said, Lord have mercy. I guess Meet Kevin's subscribers basically funded him to buy a $13 million jet, to be able to put the down payment down, I assume, if he didn't pay the full $13 million freight. But now he's selling tickets, like $2,900 a pop, to shadow him for a day of flying around looking at real estate. I'm like, man, so not only did you not, you're already funded by buying the courses and everything else to get this jet, that now you're going to pay for, I guess, all the fuel and whatever, payments he has. You'll just pay for that itself. And now he's about raising the prices. But, man, I don't know. Let me just think about the comments on that one. I got better things to do with $2,900. But, man, that's crazy to me. But, I don't know why I say it's crazy, because that dude has a gift. I told you he's a great salesman. He has a gift, an absolute gift for finding suckers, man. But anyway, just my opinion on that one. Congratulations to him. And, as a rapper said, I forget who it is, I used to listen to it, but, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? And if people are dumb enough to fall for it, hey, salute to you, sir, for finding them, I guess. I mean, but this one right here, if you lived through 2008, you'll know what I'm talking about when I present this to you. If you didn't, pay attention. This came out, I think it was, December 26th, yesterday. It says, B of A is offering a 0 down payment, 0 closing costs mortgages for minority community. Here's what you need to know about the pilot program. And boy, I remember this well. And so basically, no down payment. You don't have to worry about that. No closing cost. And even better yet, no minimum credit score. All they're going to do is go off your rent payment history and things like that. And I remember this. It's called predatory lending. It was, I don't know why they act like this is new. This is 2008. This is what they did. They called people up who had no business owning homes. I'm not saying any of these folks won't, but the fact is, you're not going to run no minimum credit score, no down payment, no closing costs, none of it, right? And this is what they did in 2008, or actually started in 06, 07. They would literally call people up, right? And they say, hey, or they come into the bank. Maybe the guy would come into the bank trying to open a savings account and say, you ever think about buying a house? And they're like, no, I can't afford a house. Oh, yes, you can. Look at this right here. And then of course, people did what? They said, honey, if the bank's telling us we can buy this, why would they be lending us the money if they didn't think we were good for it, right? Because why not? And then, of course, when it was over, we blamed the people, not the banks, which, of course, it was absolutely asinine. But, that's what I see in this. Oh, it was a program. We're going to launch in these 4 cities. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. I was waiting for this to happen, though. As desperate, I knew the banks would get desperate. Everybody would get desperate and say, these homes ain't selling. They're too expensive. And so now what are you going to do? You're going to try to put people in houses up here, right? When we all know things are supposed to be getting even worse, supposedly, in the first and second quarter, right? There's going to be some recession somewhere. And housing prices are already falling. So you're going to get them in up here. They're going to have no equity at home because they have no down payment. All this stuff. I assume they'll take the closing costs, roll it up into payment and everything. Person probably, in no minimum credit scores, they probably got, I don't know, 600 credit score, who knows. And then, of course, the price is going to fall if we actually if everything works out this year and we go into a recession, all this crazy mess happens, and now they're underwater. Not a good feeling, okay? Anyway, so I just want to put that out to you. Be expecting that. We'll see how that helps out the real estate industry. But if you look at the market today, I mean, look, oil's up, right? You had a few stocks green, but for the most part, it's a bloodbath, right? I mean, it's red across. And, in these kind of days, though, always look for what is green, right? Always look for what's green. So you got your metals out there. You got your safe bets like Target, Walmart, all these kind of recessionary type plays being played, which I've talked about before, what people are going into right now. And then, of course, anything to do with cryptos going down the tubes, You see Palantir down there setting a new 52-week low. But look what's really green. There's your Babas, your Baidu, and your JD, right? And what have we talked about? Big ticket items are out. Houses and cars. NIO and Xpeng, Tesla, and all that stuff. Boom. So that may be a Chinese stock, but people ain't buying cars right now. I don't know if Affirm and Linden Club and Upstart, I don't know if they're going to make it through this. Let me know what you think in the comments on that. It's getting rough. I'm definitely watching PayPal like a hawk because that one's on my list when we start to recover or before then. Semiconductors getting crushed and the video is finally coming back to reality now. It's funny that you look at something like a Roblox again, not really down compared to the other stocks, right? It's been getting hit, but now all of a sudden, remember at 22, I think was his bottom. ARK, man, and then look at Tesla, 11.4%, down below 110 now. And we're going to get into that a little more. Apple, barely down 1.4%. Again, just holding up. So what it's doing, Bitcoin finally goes a little green. But you look at the indexes. I mean, S&P's fine. The only one's bad is the Qs, right? The NASDAQ 100, anything to do with tech and stuff. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. And if you're getting anything out of this, please hit that like and think about sharing the video, guys. And so that leads us into Tesla, right? Still getting crushed. People calling for an $80, $90 bottom whenever that happens. I don't mean it's going straight down there now. But what you're seeing, when you see something like this happen, you know it's margin calls, okay? I mean, if you saw, I told you Friday, TD Ameritrade had to cut it off, right? People buying margin. Like, people just keep expecting this bounce, thinking it's Tesla, woohoo, whoa, whoa. And what's happening is, like I mentioned before, now, actually, I think I cut it out of the video Friday, is the fact that you just have the shareholders who are faithful, they're upset, right? They got mad because, as I told somebody in the Discord, you can love Elon Musk all you want. I think as far as caring for your shareholders, he has proven he don't care about you at all, right? I mean, this dude used his shares to go out and make a stupid purchase of a company and paid way more than what it was worth and had to use his shares to sell and back these loans, whatever it is he's doing to purchase it, and drive the stock down even further. And by the way, you're not getting any SpaceX shares to make up for this, no Twitter shares, you're not getting anything, right? So all those gains gone. Some of you underwater, and it's him. So, you just got to look at him and go, yeah, this is you, right? You want to make Twitter better for whatever reason. I don't care about Twitter. I don't think anybody else does, right? And he's seeing how hard it is to run Twitter, by the way, and go, wow, banning people might actually be something you have to do. How about that? Right? But, I mean, he crushed his own shareholders. And I asked the members, I've never seen a CEO of a major company like this never purchase their stock for 3 years, say it's overvalued, and then use it, start just selling billions. And then he comes out the other night talking about, he didn't say he was going to buy anything. He said, I just won't sell until 2024, 2025. Somebody said, did he say he's going to buy? No, he don't buy his own stock. That's the way it is. You buy it. And so, it's amazing to watch this. And I put this, I showed you this guy yesterday. Like I said, I put it in the Discord. I said, where's it going? Contract, expand. Well, guess what? It broke that another support level. One after the other is breaking. And yes, it went down below 110 today. And what happened right out of the gates? Boom. Tesla's going to reduce the output in Shanghai, and they're going to run on production for 17 days in January, between January 3rd and January 19th. And then we'll stop electric vehicle output from January 20th to January 31st. An extended break for the Chinese New Year, they said, even though we don't really know if that's true or not. And you can see, and I actually just put this channel the other day, I'm trying something new. With option flow and stuff like that, just kind of give the people an updated understanding of what's happening in the mornings with option flow. And you can see right here, man, oh my goodness. This is the puts, and you see Tesla right on top. This is the calls, way down. I mean, big difference, right? The puts are far outweighing the calls on Tesla. And then, you can see not only that, but I mean, first of all, it just comes out bearish. The whole market's bearish to start off with, selling off. So that don't help Tesla. And then this, the big boys, the big money and what they're doing. You see a $90 call right there, $2.something million. But the big boys making some big bets on Tesla. And I know plenty of people are selling puts on Tesla because the premiums, you're getting so much for it, right? So people, like, for example, I know people that bought or sold the $100 put when it was sitting at 128, got like $500 per contract, right? Some people, and what they're going to do is they're going to wait till it comes down, because that way, even if they get called on it, and it gets executed, they're getting it for $95, right? Well, people are calling 80 and 90 to be the bottom. And then what they're going to do if they get called, they'll just start selling the 80s, 80, 85s, right? And so if that gets kicked in, they're getting Tesla for in the 70s. And so that's depending on what your feeling is on Tesla. But, that's what we're talking about. But this whole thing this is straight up just margin calls. We assume Elon's not selling anymore. I mean, he said he would, but again, he said that before, right? Multiple times. But right now, the bears are in control. Everybody just keeps waiting every time. And I said this last week, right? And I kept telling him, I was like, oh yeah, right here it's bounced 3-4 times. Nope. Right through it. So support level being broken. And so the bears are in charge. Well, and we'll see how it ends out the year, but it's rough. It is rough. Now, the big thing to look out for, and this is what I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think here? Because I value your input, so let me know in the comments. This is baffling to me. Bonds, right? So you got TLT, right? Breaks up, has a great run, breaks out of this channel, has been in forever, getting killed, right? And then it starts breaking supports, and then it's back in the channel today. Comes back in the channel, just gapping down like crazy. And so the reason why I bring this up, and you can see, I mean, it doesn't look good. The sell momentum is picking up. The RSI just looks like hot garbage, below 50, and just seems to be picking up momentum to come back and just really go down into this channel towards either like 98 to 100 or something. We'll see. But the reason why I asked this, because I did a video showing the members the business cycle with the S&P 500 chart, right? And we're trying to figure out, okay, we're in stage 6, stage 1, and all this. And the reason why this is important when we go to education here, this is it. This is the business or economic cycle you're looking at. And so in stage 6, which is to the right, let me shrink this down right here so you can see it. You can see stage 6, bonds, stocks, commodities go down, which were happening. Everything was going down, right? But you look over in stage 1, what happens? Bonds go up while stocks and commodities go down. And so stocks and commodities continue to go down. The bonds were staging a comeback. And you thought, oh man, maybe we're in stage 1. And so down in the comments, let me know what you guys think. Is it stage 6? Are we trying to transition into stage 1, which was what my guess was, to be honest. And so that's what we're trying to figure out, because if you can identify, and I showed them in that video on the using the chart, if you can identify, then you know what's supposed to happen next, right? And the timelines are all different every single cycle, but at least you have a good idea to go, oh, okay, one, I do understand why these are going down now, and this may be going up, or everything is just going down because here's where we're at, okay? And I don't know a dang thing about the Chinese economy, to be honest with you, never been there, but you see their stocks are going up, right? I don't know what their bonds doing. I don't pay attention to any of that stuff. And maybe they're just different when it comes to the cycle. Somebody said that in the comments. And by the way, I love, one mistake I do make is I always forget, like, oh, new people may come in and watch a video I'm putting out for the first time. And then when they see it, I can always tell who they are, because in the comments, they'll start trying to educate me on, interest rates, historical interest, all this other stuff. And I can tell, oh, they haven't seen my past videos. Okay, I got you, my fault. And plus, they probably don't understand, because most YouTubers don't try to start a discussion. They just lecture you on something. And I'm actually asking, like, what do you think here? Here's what I see. What's your thoughts? And so a lot of people got, good comments there yesterday, and I appreciate all the comments. And look, my belief is simple, and I think a lot of people in Discord share the same thing, which is if we don't test the June lows, or I would say June, July, whichever one it is, and break those, at least test them, I'll be stunned, right? You just got to be shocked by that. Right, it'd be the first time the market's ever been able to hold up under this kind of weight with this much liquidity coming out of the market and all that stuff, and just with everything else going on. I'll be stunned. But could it happen that we don't do that? Yes, absolutely. Have you been around the last year? I mean, in 3 years, this whole last 3 years is like a big scientific experiment. Right? I've been saying it multiple times. And again, can't wait to read the books they write on it and stuff. And so the last thing I'm going to finish with this is, and we got to watch this. I always bring this up and watch like a hawk, is what smart money is telling us, right? And you can see this is the hourly, and this is very, very new here. But HYG on the hourly, you can see what happened. It set lower high, lower low, right? Well, what did the SPY do, the S&P? It didn't set a lower low, right? It set a higher low, okay? And so that's something I'm going to be watching like a hawk, right, to see what continues the rest of this week. And does, because what happens is when they're doing this, I mean, they're going right out of here. And then we're sitting there going, no, we're still buying or something, right? And so, and the reason why I think you're seeing that is because these stocks are coming down so fast that people got their levels. They want to get in, get out, blah, blah, blah. You got certain people trying to reposition for 2023 to get started. But HYG, smart money's going, don't like this very much. And so they're setting that lower low while the S&P's not. And so that's something we got to keep an eye on, because I've showed you this multiple times this year. And when it happens, I mean, it's pretty high win rate for the smart money to figure it out. And so they usually, they're hitting the escape hatch before we do, so to speak. And I know things look bad, and for certain stocks, it's been a terrible month. But, you can look how far above, we just filled one gap on the S&P, how far above we still got to go, or how far down we still got to go to get to the June lows. I mean, that's quite a fall. And so my whole thing yesterday saying, are we going to have an earnings apocalypse in 3 months? That was the key. It wasn't saying in 2023. It was, they're calling for it in 3 months to happen. 3 months, and I guess, what's the day, 27th? So 4 days. 3 months and 4 days. The earnings are the stock market's supposed to drop 20% more because of earnings. Nothing else, because of earnings. And so that was what I was trying to start a discussion about, not 2023. They're saying second half of the year, we're rocking. Okay, and so I'm just saying, boy, in 3 months, but things drop off a cliff on the earnings side. Now, in housing, yes. The big ticket items. Cars, yes. As I said, certain sectors, yes. Semiconductor, the industry or sector should be getting destroyed because, if your big ticket items are gone, like your EVs and things like that, and they're really expensive items, they're taking a lot of those chips they use, then, hey, maybe people are saying, I can do without that $2,000 cell phone, right? And so things of that nature, I can do without that big screen TV. I can do without the Tesla car, right, for another year or two, whatever. And so that's what the discussion was about. So I appreciate that, and I got some stuff out of it. So I really appreciate it. I encourage you to go read those comments because you'll actually see, you go, oh, okay, maybe I didn't think about that one. So I appreciate it. So anyway, it looks like, we might be getting cold in the stock, and obviously the way this is going for December right now, and it's supposed to be at 24th to the 2nd, you get a rally sometimes, and guess what? Not happening in this bear market right now, but again, we'll see where the market makers want to take us, where big money wants to take us, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit the like, subscribe button if you got anything out of it. Have a good night.